And good evening, everyone. Happy Friday evening to you all. Sharon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Well, as good as can be
As
expected.
good as can be good?
Yeah, for all
We
of us
sure
out there.
hope everyone out there is doing well tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this impromptu little Friday evening get-together soiree, as we call it. It's not a party. It's
No.
not a disco. We're not getting crazy tonight.
No, but we do have some plans. I'll tell you right now, we do have some plans tomorrow night. I don't know if Jamie posted yet, but tomorrow night we'll be going live again. I think at 6 p.m.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Don't miss the get-together
and
tomorrow
it will
night.
be, that's just going to be kind of some fun to take everyone's minds off everything that's going on. And we're going to actually stay live until we are down to, what do we decide?
Don't do that. Don't even do it. You're going to get us in
I
trouble.
know.
Just know this.
But we're
Tomorrow
gonna be
night,
live,
guys,
yeah.
starting at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, we're doing a self-isolation get-together party. Anyone out there who's confined, quarantined, isolated, has nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to talk to, join us online
We'll be
live. We're going to have a little bit of a get-together, and we'll
You can
stay
come
on for a
talk to
while
us.
and have some fun. So we're putting that out there. But for tonight, Sharon's got some special stuff to go over. And why don't we see if we can't jump right in and say hello to everyone. We're not going to go through and say hi to everyone, although I did see where Brian Francisconi said it's a party, the Francisconis are here. That is fantastic. Guys, I think you can hear us. I think you can see us okay. Yes, an impromptu soiree.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nurse Nancy. Welcome to Leanne, our awesome moderators who have just joined us to hang out and keep everything in check. Guys, I think it's time. Tonight it's going to be a whole lot of Sharon. So, Sharon,
Well,
the floor is yours. Talk to your
as
people.
most of you know, it's been crazy all week. Probably if you have had cruises booked, you've had to cancel or rebook, the cruise lines trying to get a hold of them, or even the travel agents. Everything has been just crazy all week. So I've been, as of yesterday, I was pretty well caught up, everything in order. And I woke up this morning with a ton of new emails with new questions, because a lot of people are starting to want to rebook their cruises now that they had canceled. And as I was answering all these questions, I started thinking, if they have all these questions, there's probably a lot more people that have similar questions. So we got the idea, to just maybe go live, go over a few of these things that were asked to me, because someone else may be wondering that themselves, and then kind of open it up for any questions you might have. And we'll see if I can answer them. I can't promise you, but I'll do the best I can to answer your questions. First, hi Jeffrey, Laura, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, really, Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat. You're amazing. And by the way, Papa Mozo says, I'm coughing and hacking, so I'm coming to stay in your home.
Oh, no.
Mozo, we have a nice place right on the front porch for you that we can put you up
No
on.
coughing here.
But Jeffrey, awesome. Dude, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well, Jeffrey. I know you just said you're working from home now, so I hope that goes good. And I think a lot of people are, and there's a lot of questions out there. Sharon, you want to go over a few kind of quick general things, and then maybe we can take some questions from folks about what's going on with the cruise lines. And the topic's kind of like, should you cancel your cruise? What do you do now over the next 30 days, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever the case is, you know?
So, one of the questions I had asked was, there's someone that was supposed to cruise the second week of April when things are supposed to start back up, asking me, can I guarantee they're going to sail then? What's going to happen? Well, I can't guarantee anything, even at this point, the cruise lines can't guarantee anything. So the answer is no, we can't guarantee that. People are asking my thoughts. If you would have asked me this a week ago, I would have said, sure, we're going to be cruising, then. Since we've been back from our cruise, daily things have just kind of exploded. They change daily, even hourly this week. It's just been kind of crazy. And at this point, my thoughts don't, I could be right, wrong, who knows? It's kind of a crapshoot, but I'm going to say, I'm thinking it's probably going to be closer to the first part of June before we are all cruising again. That's just my own personal thoughts, and you know what? That could change tomorrow, because we don't know what's going to change tomorrow. So that's kind of where I stand on that, and I have no idea what with the cruise lines and how things are going to play out. But let's just hope that by then we'll be all cruising again, and we don't miss out on too many of our scheduled cruises. But I wanted to go over, I had a few questions this morning asking me about the different cruise lines, how to use your future cruise credits, what you can use them for, things like that. One thing people seem to be a little, I guess, seems to be a little confusing is that they have a future cruise credit, and how they can apply it to their next cruise. Well, with any of the major cruise lines, you do have to still put a deposit down on your cruise, your next cruise, before you can move your future cruise credit over. If the future cruise credit is the same as the balance, then it'll get applied. There is one cruise line in particular that does not apply it to the port charges and taxes, and that's Royal Caribbean. The others do. So with that, they will move it over, and they will, I guess, take off the port charges and taxes, and then if you still have a balance, you have to pay for it. If it's anything above and beyond that, then I know Norwegian as well as Royal Caribbean will put that in an additional future cruise credit for another cruise down the road. Carnival normally does that. Right now, they've been making some exceptions. I don't know how long it's going to last. If it may have even changed already, but earlier in the week, I was able to get them to put it into onboard credit, people who had extra future cruise credit balances. So, but that's not the norm, so that can change. A lot of things will change, as time goes on. So anyone who was affected by this suspension, just this 30-day suspension, they have a choice with. I'm just going to go over kind of the major cruise lines. All of them are giving you a refund or a future cruise credit of 100%, basically. I'm going to go over Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Carnival because those are the most, I guess, probably people have the most questions with. And if you have a specific question, you can ask it after. But the first week that this was affected, which was this week, if you were sailing on Royal Caribbean, I'm sorry, Norwegian, you received 150% future cruise credit or 100% refund. That only lasted for that 1 week. Now, the rest of this suspension time, it's 125% future cruise credit or $100 or $100%, 100% refund. Royal Caribbean's doing 125% refund. Carnival is doing 100% refund or future cruise credit. If you can also receive some onboard credit. So with the future cruise credit with Carnival for 5-day sailings and less, you'll receive $300 onboard credit per cabin, and 6-day plus, it's $600.
Hey,
all these numbers are trying to confuse me.
You're throwing a lot of information out there. Really quick, did you say that Royal Caribbean's offering 125% refund or future cruise credit?
Future cruise credit.
Okay, let me correct that because I thought I heard you say
refund.
Have. There's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of information. So I think the bottom line is this: is that if you had your cruise already canceled, every cruise line is a little bit different in what they're doing and how they're handling it. So look into it, and also be aware. You mentioned earlier that the cruise lines may require you to put money down for a new deposit before you can utilize all the cruise credit dollars that you have accumulated.
That is, okay, so moving the future cruise credits over, in most cases, you can get them moved over right away. If this particular situation wasn't going on, it happens pretty quickly. With this, it's taking a few days to get things moved over. Maybe even up to a couple weeks. It's taking them that long to get to everyone to move the cruise credits over that they have. So that's why you have to put a deposit down. One reason you have to put a deposit down, secure your space, and then you will get that future cruise credit moved over. But everything's just taking time because there's so many things going on.
There's so much of it, huh?
Another thing. I know the busiest week has probably gone by already, for the most part, but everyone was calling the cruise lines immediately. There's been some people can get through fairly quickly, but for the most part, it's like hour plus waits calling some of the cruise lines. Carnival in particular,
listen, if I had $1 for every time I watched Sharon wait for 45 minutes or an hour on hold, then finally get someone on the phone, only to see her almost throw the phone against the wall because it disconnected.
Yeah,
within
it was crazy for a couple days.
Before you could even say, can I give you a callback number? Boom, you're just disconnected because the networks were crashing and the phones were horrible.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. But things have calmed down a little bit now. So getting in touch with, so hopefully if you have a professional person you're working with, they can get through in a little timelier of a fashion. But I think keep in mind, guys, that if your situation isn't for a few months out, I know you're worried, I know you're concerned, and you want to get everything redone.
Sit tight.
Sit tight. Give it a week or two. Let a few other things calm down, and let's see what develops here before you start calling, because all you do in most cases is wait, and keep other people with pressing, immediate issues that need to be handled from getting a hold of anyone. Hey, can we jump? I know you have a lot of stuff to cover.
So, let me, one quick thing.
Okay.
So the cruise lines, besides this suspension, they do have a lot of time that you can kind of cancel. Like Royal Caribbean has a thing called Cruise with Confidence. So you can actually you can actually cancel a cruise and receive a future cruise credit, any cruise you have booked between now and like July 31st. And all the cruise lines, they have something like that as well in place, where you, for a couple months out or so, you can, a month to 2 months out after the suspension, you can still cancel as well. So just keep that in mind. Check with the cruise line, your travel agent, and see what your options are with that. One other thing that I had come up. So travel insurance. A lot of people had travel insurance. Now, if in a situation like this where the cruise line is refunding you or giving you a future cruise credit, you're not actually using your travel insurance. So, all companies don't do this, but one I work with pretty much all the time for my clients is Travel Guard. They will give you can request a travel voucher. So if you're not using it because of the cancellation from this, you can go in and submit a form for a travel voucher. It will give you a voucher in the amount that you paid for your insurance on that past cruise that you didn't use, and you can apply that to when you rebook a new cruise. You can apply that amount to that, so you may possibly not be out any more money at all, or maybe just
so what about? So will they refund you, or will they just give you the voucher? It's kind of like a good-natured move on their part.
No, you can request the voucher to be applied to your new.
Okay, so you can get a voucher so you can purchase travel insurance for the next, and that's through Travel Guard.
That's Travel Guard.
And other companies may have some slight differences.
I think some of them have similar things. That's the one I work with a lot, so I'm more familiar with Travel Guard.
Okay, can we throw a couple questions out there for you, Sharon? Allie D said, I had to reschedule for December. I received an email that everything would be refunded, but hasn't received anything yet. Should I call?
No, Carnival is taking, that's another thing. I know all the cruise lines are taking quite a bit of time to get if you're requesting the refund versus the future cruise credit out to everyone. I know Carnival told me on the phone a couple days ago that it could be up to 90 days. So it's up to 90 days, they said, before you check on it. So it's going to be a while. Because they're every booking between now and the next 30 days, hundreds of thousands of people are either getting a future cruise credit or a refund. So they are just backlogged like crazy.
Yes. I mean, they're not, it's not something they want to do. It's not something they like to do. And they don't have, their streamlined process is to book cruises. Mm-hmm. They don't have the same power resource in the return, refund, cancel, rebook section of Carnival to do that. And I'm not sure that they can just flip a switch and have everyone who books all of a sudden turn into people that refund. It's they can take a lot of payments come in at once, but they can't just put a lot of payments out at once to refund. Yeah. When they refund, it's kind of more of a one at a time deal. So look at it that way and understand it'll take a little time. Keep your eye on things. Make sure on the front end you get whatever confirmations you need. Document maybe the date you called and things of that
Always
nature.
Always write down if you're calling the cruise line.
Keep a few notes, and that way you know where you stand. And as long as you don't have a pressing issue like, oh my God, it's been 12, 15 weeks or something, give it a little time to kind of settle in there and see what happens. Lovey's Fat Life, Michael Lovelace, what's up, says, I'm holding out till the end. We're supposed to sail on April 11th. We're hoping for you. We're praying for you that it goes good.
Let's hopeful. But I'm telling everyone to hold out to the end, because if for some reason the cruise does not sail, they're going to do similar things to what they're doing now. You're going to get future cruise credits, refunds, maybe even onboard credit, extra perks. So it really benefits you to hold out to the end. If you can, unless you just don't want to cruise because you're worried, but about catching something or whatever the case is. But I would definitely hold out to the end and take, get as much benefit out of it as you can.
Yeah, listen, I mean, you've heard it said on a couple places, and we'll just repeat it. What we hope you might already know is that if you can, allow the cruise line to cancel your cruise. If you cancel it yourself, you'll get the minimum amount they want to give you back. You'll get the minimum refund back. It'll be kind of standard, like as if nothing else was going on out there. But if you allow in most cases, there may be some different things set up.
You will still get 100% back if you cancel.
Yeah, they'll do that for you. But if you allow them to do it, then they're going to really incentivize and put some perks and some onboard credit in play and make it worthwhile so that you can rebook either the same cruise or an alternative one at a different time. We made another video about what you can do as far as so you don't feel so bad about your cruise getting canceled, and there's some tips about some of that stuff in there as well.
Yeah, and like I said, that is a limited time that you would get 100% back. It's just for the next couple months. So if you're cruising like in August, September, October, don't cancel it now. Wait, and see what your benefits.
David Sims says Canada said no cruising until July. Yeah, they did put a shutdown on their ports. I know that if you have an Alaska cruise going on,
we're still waiting to hear what's going to be going on with them. I don't know if they're going to try to make some kind of allowances, if maybe they're going to try to port there and not get off the ship, if they're going to change up some itineraries, possibly. There's a lot of options going on, and I'm sure they're working on that right now, somewhat alongside with all of this other stuff.
Bill Bayongo said, filled out the paperwork for Princess Future Cruise Credit. About how long would that usually take? Just a ballpark idea.
For a future, I just filled out online. I would say give it at least 2 to 3 weeks before you, and then if you don't see anything, then call and check on it.
Annette Grimes said she's hearing up to $600 per cabin for 6 day or more for Carnival on future cruises. Yep, they will. They are sweetening the pot.
Yeah, and that's only during this suspension time. This 30-day suspension.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? Charlie Gallo, what's up? Said last week Princess gave us 100% back on the cruise and 50% off the next cruise. That is fantastic. Yeah, those are some of the things the cruise lines will be doing to take care of you guys. Leanne said that does make sense about the cash deposit. Yeah, and again, it's just because they don't have that money available to immediately put down. So you make another deposit, and then they'll get you all that credit. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a couple questions for you, Sharon. What other kind of regular things are people asking about or talking about?
I had a lot of people inquire recently about airlines and things when they didn't. Some had travel insurance, some didn't. And I told them most airlines are doing similar to the cruise lines. They're refunding or not refunding. Some are refunding, but most of them are giving you like a future credit for travels, later on in the year. Most of them want you to use it by the end of this year. Well, at least at this time. That could change too. But let's see. Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, Delta, United, like Hawaiian Airlines, JetBlue. I know those are a few that are honoring your like a credit for any bookings over the next, I guess, couple months that are canceled because of this.
Yes, for sure. Here's a note saying Princess said it'd be 30 days before the refund will be processed. Yeah, that's pretty normal stuff. Kimberly Vickers, what's up? What happens with travel protection purchased through Carnival on a canceled cruise? Can that be moved to the new cruise?
I haven't had anyone that had it through Carnival yet that I've checked into. Most likely they will refund it back to you, and you can repurchase it for another cruise. Because when you get travel insurance, it's usually linked to a specific cruise, specific sail date, specific dollar amount, and things like that.
Same with somebody asked about the same thing like with NCL in their case. The insurance, is it kind of similar with the different cruise lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there might be slight differences with the cruise lines. Most of the insurance I book for people is through Travel Guard versus the cruise line. But it's similar. Yeah,
Lady Joy said, I got a hold of someone yesterday right when they opened. Sometimes you get lucky like that.
Yeah.
And like we said, things are calming down a little bit. So that's good stuff. Ali D said, I didn't have to put any money down to reschedule. They used all the future cruise credit. So not all. Only Royal is requiring an additional deposit. Is that right? Or are all cruise lines in some cases?
Carnival is, and Norwegian as well. Now, it depends. the other day I was able to use, because of the price difference, I was able to move a cruise over and use everything to move the person over, and they were able to get some onboard credit. Carnival is, as I said, Norwegian and Royal are making an additional future cruise credit if you book a cruise that's less than your future cruise credit. Carnival normally does that too, but in some cases they're giving onboard credit. So with that particular case, I was able to move it over without any additional charges. But that's not the norm. That doesn't. It was just I think it was the specific rate code that this person had, and some other things. So normally that's not the case with those 3 cruise lines.
Renee Burton said, supposed to cruise 413. Hope we get a notice a few days in advance. I think the notifications will be much better off because the cruise lines now, I think, will be making their decisions
a little sooner
on their own or in tune with the government, as opposed to the government maybe trying to make decisions for them. Everything happened so last minute before.
I mean, I don't
it was
think
a little bit crazy.
I don't think they'll announce anything too far ahead, but I think they'll at least, I'm thinking they would give at least maybe a 72-hour notice or so, because I'm thinking they're going to try to prevent people from flying into ports ahead of time, and then
Good question from Crazy Cat Traveler. Said, would it be smarter to keep making payments on my November cruise or save my money and pay at the end?
You know what, you can really do it either way, but if it was me, I would just wait and pay it at the end. That's
Yes. Why put the money out now that you might need now when you can just sit on that and then pay it later?
Yeah.
Makes no difference. You get the money back if you cancel, but keep the money with you.
My
Lajuma Brown, thank you so much for
thank
the
you,
super chat.
Lajuma.
That is so sweet of you for supporting the channel. We very much appreciate that kind of thing. Let me jump in.
Well, that's one thing I always I prefer to hold on to my money and pay at the end as well. We don't. I know some people make payments along. It's just easier for them, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Personally, I like to hold on to my own money until final payment date and then pay my cruise off. I pay the deposit and I don't pay anything else until final payment date. And that's just me. Not that money gets a lot of interest or anything in the bank, but why give it to somebody else to hold on to? Hold on to your own money.
Let's see. Kim Tompkin has a question. I have a question. We booked a cheaper cruise and Carnival won't refund the difference. They say we forfeit the difference. Is that right?
Okay, so
you need some more information to answer that question, do you think, or what?
That may be something to, like I said, like your rate code. I don't know what rate code you booked under. I don't know anything about your booking. Like I said earlier in the week, I was able to get onboard credit for some people. So, if it was a casino rate, sometimes casino rates, they're different and you don't get everything refunded.
Maybe Kim means, as far as the future cruise credit goes, and so your cruise credit is so that you can get a cruise at or more than, hopefully more than the price of which you originally paid. And maybe if there's a difference, you might lose out on that difference. Maybe that might be it.
I know they will not refund it. That's true. They will not refund it. But you should call back and find out if they will put it in the form of an onboard credit.
Yes.
And that, like I said, that would depend on your rate code.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? And sometimes is it more beneficial to let them just sit around, let them cancel, and then use all that to rebook easier than canceling yourself and trying to rebook?
It is.
Is it more beneficial that way?
If you, like everyone during this 30 days, if you didn't get through the cruise line to cancel your travel agent, you don't have to really do anything right now. You can just sit back, let everything settle. They're going to cancel your cruise automatically. It's going to go under your name, your cruise line number, or it's a Latitudes number or a VIFP number, whatever the case is. It's all, and that booking number, it's all going to go back to you in the form of future cruise credit. So you can wait till things settle for a week or so, and then you can contact them and let them know if you want a refund versus the future cruise credit.
There you go.
It'll automatically go to a future cruise
Vivian
credit.
Murdoch, I'm booked on HAL for April 8th. When do you think they will contact me for a refund? I want to get future cruise credit. Are they refunding automatically, or do they have to contact each person to do that?
A lot of them are sending an email, but like I said, those are so backed up. Just know that it's going to automatically. Oh wait, you're April 8th. Yeah, it's going to automatically cancel. You probably won't hear something from them until just a couple days before or so, because like I said, they're going kind of week to week. They're going through things in order. You
Yeah.
know, right now they're focusing on things this week and next week, you know, and as it gets closer to your date, then you'll probably hear something from them. If not, if you're concerned, you know, wait till closer to that and then give them a call.
To follow up on that, let's say Vivian doesn't want to just sit around. Vivian's ready to book the next one now.
Oh.
Would it benefit that person or Vivian to call into Holland America and say, hey, and go into where I want to book a cruise and say, hey, I'm ready to book the next one. I want to rebook with it. Here's my information. Can they access it then?
Yeah, if you already know what cruise you want to rebook, if you're ready to book your future cruise, then you can go ahead and call them and get it canceled so that your future cruise credit can kind of, you know, you won't have to wait as long.
So I think that's great info. If you're cool and you're not ready to rebook, allow everything to come to you, which it will automatically. But if you're ready to pull the trigger and make another booking or a decision, make sure you contact them. Or can I put in a shameless plug for you for a minute?
But like I said, though, a lot of them you do have to redeposit anyways. So if you want to book something else, you can always go ahead and put that deposit down. Just secure that other room and then wait until closer to April and then call them and say, oh, by the way, my future cruise credit, I want it moved over to this
Wow,
cruise.
that's a great idea.
So you don't have
to hold on with the cruise company on the phone. You could just go in and book your next cruise using just making whatever low deposit's being offered, and then use the future cruise credit as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about getting that future cruise credit put on. You know, as long as it's put on before final payment. Although all of them do have a certain time period that you have to sail to use that as well. Some of them are at the end of next year. Some of them are at the end of 2022.
Excellent stuff there. My cruise, my final payment's July 25th for my cruise. Hold on. I cruised July 25th. My final payment's due April 3rd. Should I make that payment?
If you don't make that payment, your cruise will get canceled. So if you want to go on that cruise on July 25th, I would say make the payment and just hope for the best.
And that was Annette Grimes. If Annette does not make that payment, then your cruise will cancel in default, as opposed to being canceled with benefits for the future. So keep that in mind. If you let your cruise cancel, you'll get the minimum amount of perk
and depending
available.
on the cruise lines, some cruise lines aren't refunding out to July. Some are and some aren't. So you may be out some money if that happens. So.
Somebody else said that Kim Thompson's questions that but you shouldn't be forfeiting the difference. They should turn that into a second future credit or an onboard credit. Yeah. Is that something they can do in her case?
Yeah. What cruise line? I don't know what cruise line that was. I know Norwegian and Royal Caribbean they will make an additional on future cruise credit that you can use on an additional cruise.
There you go.
Carnival, they don't do that. But like I said, I've been able to get them to turn it into onboard credit this week for people. So it's although that onboard credit won't show up right away either. That's something that is going to take 2 to 3 weeks to show up on those bookings. So all these bookings right now that I'm adding future cruise credits on, onboard credits on, all that stuff, I actually have to go back and follow up probably in 3 to 4 weeks and through all those bookings and make sure that everything got applied properly.
Great question. Robert Morris says, will and should the federal government bail out the cruise industry? I have a thought on that. May I?
Yeah, you take that one.
Okay, so so there is talk that the federal government could bail out or subsidize the cruise industry for all the money they've lost. You know, give them a little bit of money back, loan them back some money or whatever. Similar to what happened with, let's say, the banks, right? Back when they had that whole collapse in like 2008. A lot of people will say that, wait a minute, but the cruise ships are they're registered in other countries. They're not necessarily they're not totally American businesses, although most of the headquarters are based, or parts of the headquarters are based here in the U.S. But keep in mind that going along with, when the cruise lines are running, then hotels are running. Airplanes are selling seats to port areas. Hotels are selling rooms. There are thousands and thousands of workers at each one of these ports that rely on those cruise ships for their income. So although it's a situation where ships are registered outside the U.S., the U.S. itself and the people that work for and around these cruise ships and cruise ports are dependent on them to make a living. So I would imagine that when the cruise lines do a little bit for the government, you can expect the government to scratch their back and take care of them. So I would anticipate yes. Now, granted, hey, listen, I'm not a pro. I couldn't, you're asking a guy that just is a little bit familiar versus anyone who has the inside scoop or anything. But I would imagine that we would see some kind of a quote unquote bailout or a subsidization. The cruise lines would be subsidized and stuff like that. Issue with my Alaska cruise. We leave from Seward, and I'm supposed to go 5 days early to see Alaska and staying in a VRBO, a condo or hotel. So we have to find out their cancellation time frame so we don't lose our deposit. Maybe I would tell you what, that if the VRBO that you're staying in is not isn't sensitive to the situation going on with the cruise lines, then I would find a new place to stay, to be honest with you.
And
I would be
also,
canceling them now if they're not going to give you the option later.
Also, you have to, are you saying you have to cancel that 5 days prior? I think that you're going to find out before 5 days prior to your Alaska cruise whether or not it's going to sail. When I don't know what month you're sailing in, but I don't think the Alaska cruises are going to wait until the day before to tell people they're canceled.
The Ship Show has a great question. Hi, John. If I've already made a full payment and I rebook, why would I need to make another deposit? It cost me $1,000 to deposit on Freedom of the Seas, $250 a person, and 4 people.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand that. That's something that I really can't answer. That's a Royal Caribbean question. I kind of asked them the same thing. No, it's even the people that you talk to there, they don't know. That's made by the higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think it's Royal's way of just guaranteeing almost another cruise from you, because if you have money, end up having some money left over and it goes into another future cruise credit in that way, then you're going to have to cruise again with them to use it. So I think it's a total money maker on Royal Caribbean's part, because the other cruise lines don't all do that.
A little royal deal.
Yeah.
Hey guys, really quick, let's chat. I see a comment in the chat, and just a shout out.
I saw something someone said. I hope to Alana. I hope Super Mario has an apartment.
Oh yeah, Super Mario. How's he gonna be on the cruise ship?
I don't know if Alana, if you're still in here, do you know anything about that?
If Super Mario has an apartment on land, I bet he's got access.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, really quick. Let me just say that we hope everybody's doing okay out there.
Yeah.
Things are a little crazy, and it looks like they might get a little crazier before they start to calm down. Yeah. My mindset is that as long as we can get, the faster they can get a cure or something to minimize, to be frank with you guys, the death rate. We need something to be able to take the people that are being pushed to the edge with this virus and bring them back and give them some time to heal up and get better. And once we can impact that, I think everything else calms down and gets back to normal. But for those of you that are out there working as first responders, the nurses, the doctors, the teachers that are trying to change up how they're educating our children and doing it in a whole new way on the fly, people, truck drivers, grocery stores, the service people out there, everybody, the military, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing, because while a lot of us are sitting back keeping our fingers crossed, you guys are still out there risking yourselves, your health, your well-being, your families and all that. So we appreciate that very much, and we thank you for that.
And I know it's really hard for people, but if you are someone that doesn't have to go out, you're not working in a field like that, stay home as much as you can. I a week ago or so, I probably wouldn't have said that, but that's really one of the only ways we're going to kind of get through this and get it out of here as quickly as we can is to just minimize the spread of it. That's one of the biggest ways to minimize it right now, is just to
minimize the mortality rate. Yeah. Remember one thing, guys. I've said this before on another live show, and not to get too far off topic, because today was all about Sharon getting some education and some knowledge out there and answering you guys' questions. But just on this whole topic is that over 25,000 people in this season since September, October have already died from the flu, just a regular flu. And that's a number that no one even pays attention to. The big issue is that this new thing is the mortality rate's even higher than that. And we treat the 25,000 like it doesn't even happen. It's like whatever. So the biggest thing is to get a vaccine, get something to slow down minimize the mortality rate. And once that happens, then we know that, hey, if someone gets sick, they can be they can be healed. We can help them get better. It's not necessarily a death sentence for certain people in certain classifications, and that's the biggest thing to fix. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand. I'm sorry I went off on a tangent. It's very difficult for me not to go off on tangents if you guys know us and you know me. So thank you for hanging in there. Hold on, let me try to catch back up where the things are.
Sorry.
I think Super Mario is just fine. He's better than all of us in his apartment in Miami. There you go. He's got his own place.
Yeah.
Mario does have an apartment. Good to know that he is good to go. Austin Moore said, if I use the future cruise credit to pay for my cruise and it gets canceled, will they put that future cruise credit towards another future cruise credit?
They will.
Yes.
They will.
Martin 1107, what's up? Martin has a cruise booked in Auckland, New Zealand to Vancouver in 27 days. We hope it's all fixed by then too, my friend. We hope it's all fixed.
So too.
We hope it's all fixed. Jim D, you're welcome. Jim D said thanks for the advice and any tips. We'll see how that goes.
And if you just have a question, if you're booked on your own, you've been dealing with things, if you just think of a question, you have a question, you can always email me anytime and ask me. I would be happy to just answer your questions. So.
AA said, I heard they're going to make cruise ships mobile hospitals, so they may get paid for that. You're definitely right, and
they're considering that.
Yes, and everything that I heard was that they're not going to put folks with the illness on these cruise ships. They're going to take folks that are just in the hospital for other reasons, non-life-threatening reasons, and use the cruise ships to house them so that they can put the people into the hospital that have the illness that need immediate attention. And care and stuff like that.
Nothing's definite on that yet. That's kind of but that is a good backup plan if they need it. It's great that the cruise lines.
Riding with Larry, thank you so much. He said, here's something for the I think he might have meant the SAS Cruise Relief Fund. Larry, you're amazing. We hope that you and Diane are doing well right now.
I can't wait to cruise with you guys again.
Thank you for supporting the channel with the super chat. It means a lot. We really, really appreciate that. Extremely awesome of you guys. And by the way, we can't wait to see everybody in Fort Lauderdale, October 23rd at the Embassy Suites for the big group cruise pre-party.
I am very positive. Well, I can't say positive. I am very hopeful, and I'm pretty positive that we're all going to be sailing then.
That is correct. Let's see, what else? So when Royal cancels a cruise, you can get full refund or future cruise credit, not both, right? Said Bob.
One or the other.
Yes, Bob. Thank you so much. Let me jump down in the chat a little bit. I'm trying not to get too far behind. I think we're in a good place. Hello, Robbie O'Malley. Lovely to see you tonight, my friend. Great to have you. I hope everything's going well for you and your family. NCL is the same thing. Need a deposit to use it. I don't understand it either, said Robbie.
Yeah.
That just happens. It's just one of those tricky things. I'm sure it's a little financial grab, but like Sharon said, it's also because they may or may not have all your cruise refund money available where they can just click a button and go, oh, you're getting this much back, let's take this much from here and put it into deposit. They have to give you a full amount, they have to take the full amount they've collected from you and give you the full amount back in one way or another.
Yeah.
They can't start breaking it up into pieces or anything like that.
Something that you can do on the cruise lines that are not, some cruise lines are offering, like I said, 125% future cruise credit. If it's a cruise line that's offering like 100% future cruise credit, you can always just take the refund option instead, and then redeposit, and then you're not really out the deposit. You know what I mean? It's not the same. Although most cruise lines, you are having to wait quite a bit of time. Like I said, Carnival's up to 90 days for the refund. So if you're not hot to book a cruise like in the next week or so out there, you can always go that route.
Thank you very much, Papa Mozo, for the super chat. We appreciate it. It says celebrity folk are nice, but not so Sharon-ish. So there's that. Thank you, Papa Mozo. I have a question.
Celebrities, the same. Their policies are the same as Royal.
I have a question. So Carnival Corporation owns numerous cruise lines: Holland America, Princess, Carnival, Costa. Some of those. So would someone be able to? Let's say they had their Princess cruise canceled. Could they transfer or use that future cruise credit on, let's say, a Carnival cruise, or does it have to be in the same cruise line?
It has to be on the same cruise line.
Okay. I don't know if anybody would have thought of that, but I did, and I figured I'd ask my boss here, and she would set me straight. Thank you so much, Sharon. Let me catch up a little bit. I think that's right. That's right. Let's get through the first wave, and try not to have everyone needing ventilators at the same time.
Yeah.
You are so right, Nancy. Nancy would know. Nancy, like Sharon, is a nurse and takes care of people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. You guys didn't know that about Sharon? Yes, she is. That's why she loves helping everyone in the travel, because she loves helping everyone in general. She is a nurse, and the travel business is also a full-time. She kind of does two.
Kind of do a part-time nurse.
She's a part-time nurse, full-time travel professional. And by the
full-time
way,
nurse.
if after this, guys, if you still have questions that are not answered, you're still curious about stuff, I think things have calmed down a little bit for you since we got back from our cruise.
Yeah.
sharonatsea@gmail.com if you need to contact Sharon with questions. She doesn't have to be your full-time travel agent. You don't have to be booked with her to tap into her and mind and get a little response.
No, I would be glad to help you.
She can help you out. If you are looking for someone to help you get canceled, rebooked, she's there for that. Or if you just have a general question, if something's happening elsewhere and you're confused about it, she can definitely help you out. So send an email to sharonatsea@gmail.com. Make sure you have good details. The cruise line, any information you can give her will help her to answer your question a little bit better. If it's not an immediate pressing issue, give her maybe a couple hours, 12 hours. I mean, she gets frantic if I'm like, hey, let's go out.
I try to get back to people quick, but I don't.
And when it's not so chaotic, if I'm like, hey, let's go to dinner, she's like, I have 3 people to respond to, and I'm like, can we just go to dinner? She's like, we gotta wait. I just gotta get an email back to these people, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
So people come first.
Thank you, Courtney. It's very nice of you. I mean, listen, there's a lot of information out there and a lot of people putting info out there. Courtney said thanks. It's nice hearing from an experienced TA. And even Sharon said, I'm not sure if I have all the answers to all the questions that people might ask. And I said, don't worry. At least you know where to go to get them and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I deal more with the major cruise lines, the 3 main ones. I do book all the others, but I haven't had to deal with them really much during this kind of crisis, so I'm just more familiar with the others.
A special shout out to Cruise Gear, aka Sherry from Cruise Tips TV.
Oh, hi Sherry.
Thank you so much for popping in and saying hi. Sherry said, great info, guys, listening on my way home. Sherry, thank you for chiming in and saying hi. We know you have got some amazing informative live shows you're doing. I think one today at 6. There's a couple of them today, guys. So make sure you have your iPad in one hand, your phone in the other, your computer's on one, and then your TV set to YouTube, so you can watch everybody's stuff going on all at once, and see everybody out there. You have our friends Alana Zangano and Raphael. You got Cherry from Cruise Tips TV. It's a busy Friday night. That's why we want to come on early and not step on anyone's toes. And as a reminder, guys, first off, thank you for being here. Over 250 people here. If you're one of those folks, if you're like us and you're basically quarantined, we're about 95% quarantined. We've left the house, and I'm not going to BS you and say we haven't left the house at all, but we're doing everything within our power to only go out for necessities, food, basic stuff like that to get by and take care of our family.
Now I will say I was supposed to work at my nursing job tomorrow, but I got word that I have to stay home as well from there until the following weekend, then I can come back. So I will probably pick up the weekends after that. I will probably work a couple days here and there on the weekends to help out.
Yeah.
Just because I know they really need people, but I will be home this weekend too. So I'm kind of sort of self-quarantining myself. In a way. Yeah.
Well, listen, if you are like us and you are self-quarantined and there's not a whole lot to do, then we will be having a special live show. It's a self-isolation get-together. It's a little get-together while keeping our proper distances from each other. And so we'll be live, having a little fun. There'll be some snacks. There may be a cocktail involved. Hopefully you can do the same. Sharon says she might give away a couple things, maybe a few trivia questions, maybe a little fun.
Games or something.
We'll see what happens. And so Saturday night, starting at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Until whenever.
If you're chilling out, come join us online and hang out. We're gonna let our hair down a little bit and have a little fun, a little get together with you guys. So just so we can all hang out together. Jamie Wilhite said, Jamie, what are you doing to stay busy? I have been just editing videos and getting to spend a little time with Matthew. We've been joking around that we don't see a lot of each other sometimes with our work schedules and everything like that, and with my schedule.
We're here a lot of times, but yeah, it's like everyone's kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, so we go on our cruises for a week at a time, a couple times a year, and then we get some quality family time. But if you're like us, after 7 days together, maybe more like 9 with the front and the back end a day off here. We're like, okay, that was great. Now I need to get back to my spacing and my work and get to a real world. And now we're looking at potentially 3 weeks together. It's definitely a great way to test your relationship and stuff like that.
Projects in the garage and some other different projects he's going to be working on.
Yes, I do. I have some chores that have been given to me and
things that
sent to me.
Have been needing to be done that we haven't had time for.
Exactly. Sherilyn Michaels, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
And Matthew
Amanda Graves, what is going on? Is Amanda out there? I see Ruth out there. I think I see Amanda Graves' name. Amanda, Sharon, how long will it take to get back our refund for the hotel? We had to get that Saturday night. Sent my receipt to Carnival yesterday. Great question, Amanda. Amanda, how are you and Ed doing? Lovely to see you. I don't know if you saw the vlog. We had a spot with you in there, Amanda, so I hope you checked yourself out. You're somewhat famous now.
Yeah. I think they told me 2 to 3 weeks. I would say I would expect 30 days, probably. In fact, I still have to email mine to them. I haven't even had time this week, but I would give it a month.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, Pixie Dust Travelers. Thank you so much for saying that. Guys, as a reminder, if you have a moment and you don't mind doing it, and if you enjoy the content, number one, make sure if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button so we can share some more information with you guys down the road and keep you informed when we can, and we'll get some vlogs out. It's kind of funny. We put out a couple vlogs, and as a creator, you get some shots from people like, "Why are you promoting cruising right now?" And it's like, hold on, are you saying that to The Bachelor or to whatever TV shows are on? I mean, we're just trying to put something out to entertain while we're waiting for any sense of normalcy to come back to life.
Yeah, it's just another way to entertain it, and a lot of people that watch them, that's what they normally watch versus TV sometimes.
Sure.
So it's just sort of like more episodes of things.
Crazy Cat, I believe that, unless the degenerate cruisers go for over 5 hours again, I think we ought to be good to go with those guys. Let's see. You cruise tubers need money rewarded from the Lions for your support. Thank you. I will let someone know. If you want to put in a note to the President's Council and tell them to remember the cruise community, that would be fantastic. So that is super cool too. Let me get to the bottom of the chat, roll up a little bit.
So
I don't want to miss any other questions you guys have.
Yeah, we're going to scroll through and see if there's any more questions here before we go.
Let's see. I will check for the question. Sharon, is there any? I know you have a lot of info there. Any airline info that you wanted to cover that you haven't yet?
Just check with your airline. They're all doing like a future. I don't want to say cruise credit. Future airline credit. Kind of just like what the cruise lines are doing, and all the major airlines are doing that.
Yes.
I know we just canceled. We had a flight home. Actually, it would have been home yesterday on Delta, and we don't usually fly Delta but it was the cheapest rate at that time. So, and we have a future credit for that.
Yes. Yeah, that was from. And you guys have heard us before. I know that everyone's going through their pains, and we're not without that too. We're a lot like you guys. We had an adventure planned, a surprising event on Virgin Voyage's brand new Scarlet Lady. After swearing up and down we'd never be caught on that ship, mostly because we have a 15-year-old that wouldn't be allowed on there. Sharon was invited to an event on there for her travel company, part of being a travel agent, and we were so excited to surprise the heck out of everybody and say, look where we are, and blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
And we had flights booked and everything, and we had to cancel those, and we got points back for one and a credit back for another, and the whole 9 yards, and so we've gone through a lot of that too, guys. You're not alone in all this kind of stuff.
Like I always say, just look to the future, try to stay positive. For us, we're gonna start looking at where do we want to fly now to use our airline credit, and where are we gonna cruise next once things pick up. And
yes, we're like you. We want to get back out there. Hey, let's go. Let me try to browse through the rest of things. I don't want to miss any questions, so we'll just try to do a quick couple of questions real quick.
Daryl Howard says, do you live in Arizona? Yes, we do. We live in Arizona.
Fun Freddy said, hi Sharon, how do you verify the cruise credit that you got and that you got it without calling the cruise company? If you don't want to wait on hold, is there a way to verify any of your credit, or is that really like something that's sitting there behind the scenes? Or
no, if eventually it'll show up on your booking, like I said, but it's going to take some time. So you can log into your booking, and where you see it would be I'm used to looking at the travel agent site, but where you'd see on your printout of all your charges of how much your cruise cost and all that, it will be listed on that at some point, but it's going to take a while to show up on there.
Chris Barnett, how you doing, buddy? Does it matter whether you booked with a TA or directly when it comes to future cruise credit?
No, you'll get the same amount no matter what.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Let's see, what else? I think it's the only thing you can't answer is if the cruise company themselves were doing something particular for you. I don't know what situation that company, that agent, or that, they're in as far as refunding. If they were doing a special side perk that wasn't, cruise line oriented, I guess.
I mean, the only difference really between booking with the TA and on your own for that is you don't have to deal, if you booked with a TA, you don't have to deal with any of this right now. You just say, I want to cancel, or I want a refund, or I want my future cruise credit, or whatever, and your TA has to, either get online and make the changes, make the calls, wait on hold, do all that for you. So it's probably,
yes.
in that respect, it's probably really nice if you have a travel agent.
These are some of the
right
times,
now.
yes. Hey, it's Friday. Quarantini, the order of the evening. Big G and Schnuggles, what's up? I'm sorry, no quarantini tonight. When we announced that we were going to have a little live show, people were like, great, I want to party on a Friday. I'm like, time out. It's not a party type of a live stream.
Party
it's
on
more
Saturday.
like yes. So
Tomorrow
we will be partying tomorrow, and throwing down and letting our hair down and getting a little loose. Life Adventure Show. Thank you so much for the support through the super chat.
Thank you so much.
Hey, we appreciate that. Very nice of you.
Little
dude there. I call the dude the eggplant. I'm not sure what it is.
What are they called? I forgot.
I'm not sure. Yes, Chris loves cruises. We hope that you're doing well. Let's see. I'm scheduled to go cruise April 11th on the Panorama. If I cancel after March 31, do I lose everything? Thanks. From Tom M.
You're set to cruise on March 11th.
On April 11th. Would that be the first one back for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you cruise right now,
you cancel right now.
If you cancel right now, you will get 100% future cruise credit.
Yes.
You will.
So you will not lose everything, but you won't get the max perk. Sit tight if you can, Tom. Let them cancel it. Get a little onboard credit as well. That way you get a little something for your troubles. And hopefully you're good to go.
And if they extend it, they're not going to wait till the 10th to let you know. I don't think this time. It's going to be out.
They will certainly give you a hookup a little bit. Let's see what else.
See if there's anything else.
God, I waited and booked my November Princess cruise. I originally was looking at Virgin in early summer. Good move, Crazy Cat.
I still need to book our flights
to and from Fort Lauderdale. Oh, Ruth Todd, if you have flights to book, guys, one thing that we talked about is what's the price going to be once this is over. Mm-hmm. How much gouging will there be? How much will airlines, cruise lines, and everything else go up in price to try to recoup their losses? That's a question that it's tough to answer right now. So,
and if you see a cheap price on something now, if you do, I would grab it now because I predict they're gonna go up later. I haven't noticed big drops. There's been some price drops with Carnival. Lately, I have had quite a few Carnival price drops during this for future cruises. Not so much with the other cruise lines.
Yes.
Norwegian, for the most part, is the same, and Royal is the same, if not higher, right now.
Tess Almond, we did talk about that earlier. Give it a while to get those automatic refunds from the cruise company for your gratuities, excursion refunds, and things like that.
All that
it's
will
just
come
going to
back
take
to
time.
It's going to take
yes,
time.
I would worry if it goes beyond the date you're scheduled to cruise, a week or so, then I might get a little nervous. And of course, if you're ready to rebook now, you could do it on your own, and then move those future cruise credits over later, or you could call the company directly and see if they might be able to apply them now, if they can for you. So there you go. A few people commented that they are getting tested. They are worried about their own health. We hope you guys are healthy.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Don't freak out about things. Just make good decisions and be careful. Remember that for your average person who is in good health, you have nothing to worry about besides getting the flu.
Yeah. Well,
but in most cases, I realize that's okay. I'll walk that back a hint. In most cases, you're just going to feel sick. But folks, if you do have any kind of immune issue, any deficiency or anything like that, pay attention. Watch your elders, watch your kids, watch your family and friends. Keep an eye on things. I called Royal about canceling for June, and they would only give future cruise credit, not refund.
Right.
What's up with that?
That's because it's
that's
after their date. Anything after this 30-day suspension, they will give you a future cruise credit for the next couple of months. I think with Royal, it's through the end of July, but not a refund. They will only give the refund during this 30-day period.
Yes, D. Whitmore, I don't know which ships they'll use, but I have to imagine if Carnival's doing it, it'll be a couple of their older ships, because once they begin booking again, I don't think they want to have the brand newer, big money-making ships, for lack of a better term, tied up, associated with whatever went on.
Yeah.
Even though they're not planning on putting infected or ill with this current virus people in those ships, people still won't understand that, and they'll still freak out about it. So what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do, guys? Hey, Jamie Wilhite, that's a pleasure, guys. We try to stay positive because there's nothing else we can do besides that but to stay positive.
We do.
Papa Mozo, we hope Mommy is okay. Keep us posted on that so we can see.
Let's hope she's good.
Stacey said, I got my flight on American for October 31 cruise for $274 round trip, and now it's over $369. Yeah, watch those prices. They're going up on you guys.
About a week ago, I saw some pretty low prices, and then now I've noticed this week some of them are kind of going up again. So I think they're going to fluctuate like everything right now. So you just kind of stay on top of it and check daily.
Truth and Messiah said, I saw you guys on Panorama, but hesitant to bug you.
Aww.
We loved it. We had 60 plus people come up and say hi during the week. It was amazing. You were walking to the app pool bar. Wife and I were on our way to pedal the Sky Rail. Truth, next time you just come right up and say hey. Don't even worry about it. You'll see people in our vlogs that have said hey to us, and it's funny, we saw a few people once, never saw them again, and others we saw them 20 different times. It was crazy. Tess Ahmed, I share this with my cruise group that keeps asking, should I book? Thank you so much, Tess. That's very nice of you. We appreciate that. So guys, again, hang in there. Stay calm, stay safe. If your issue needs immediate attention, then get someone to help you. If you have a couple weeks or months until it's really going to come up, sit tight. Wait to cancel. Let the cruise lines cancel your deal to get more perks and options. And if you have any general questions about anything, whether or not she's your professional, which she should be, but if she's not, please email us. Email Sharon at sharonatsea. That's Sharon at SEA. All spelled out. sharonatsea@gmail.com. And Sharon can try to help you out. And if you need help booking, she's there for you for that as well. And that's the deal.
Said we're gonna all need a cruise after this. Yeah, we sure are.
We sure are. I will tell you what. I know that I am more excited than ever about our October group cruise with the kids over at La Lido Loca. That's gonna be
Papa Mozo says Southwest Airlines cheap to Fort Lauderdale night. Yeah, I noticed last night they did have some flights that were out a little ways that were pretty cheap. I was looking at some.
For sure. All right, Sharon, is that it? It's 6 o'clock. We're going to wrap it up. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you very much. Over 270 people still here. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Be safe. Go watch someone else's live stream. Support the cruise community right now. Watch videos. We have a couple of vlogs that came out in the last day or two. One about our embarkation day that got botched because of the virus scare. The other one where we went off without a hitch. And one of us might have had a few too many drinks late in the evening. I won't tell you who. That's for you to see. But check out those. Check out our newest vlog that hit. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, everyone.
And tomorrow night, guys, it's a party. Okay, we're not going to be serious like this. We're going to have our fancy outfits on, maybe some music playing in the background, and we're going to tear it up with you guys at our self-isolation get-together. And it's going to be a good time. So join us 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Yeah, and if any of you, if we missed any questions, I'm so sorry, but as the chat goes, but feel free to email them to me, Facebook message, whatever. Send me the message, and I will answer it for you.
Danielle, I got some chicken drumsticks. We're going to toss them in some buffalo wing sauce and have monster-sized buffalo wings. I recommend you do it. All right, guys, that's it. Good night. So until next time, Sharon, just say it. We can't say it. We shouldn't say it. It's how we end every video, every live stream, every time. But just say it.
Happy cruising, guys, and safe travels.
Yes.
We're going to get through this together, and we're going to all be cruising again before you know it.
Amen. Peace out.